is the first movie you're referring to, I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
A movie I was so obsessed with. It was my favorite movie that year.
Wow.
And it was also really notable because it had this big sale out of Sundance, and then it was on Netflix like 6 minutes later.
Actually, Netflix was the one that financed it from the get-go. That's why it happened so quick.
Oh, wow.
As a matter of fact, they already had the date before, and then we got accepted into Sundance. And I hope I'm not talking out of school, but they were like, we've already got the date. Why are we going to Sundance? And I was like, my brothers.
Right.
Like,
let me explain to you.
We've been invited to Sundance.
Yeah.
Please, please, please. And okay. So then we went. But they were the only ones that wanted to finance it, which is not surprising. Nobody knew who I was. And it was like, we had taken it around for about a year and just couldn't really get any traction. And then right about when the producers and I were like, I don't know if we have any moves to make, Meta Marie Kongsved, a producer who was working with us, got us a meeting at Netflix, and I was very kind of just sort of disconnected from things at the time, and so my thinking was like, but the discs,
the red envelopes,
envelopes, like, are we going to mail our movie out
exactly
to people? And they're like,
but
no,
like, sure, I'll take the meeting.
Yeah, they're making their own movies now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I had heard about Beast of No Nation and a few others, but they were not like they are now, where they're like a major like production hub.
No, it was the timing of it was sort of perfect for what that movie is. I love I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore so deeply. Melanie Lynskey, I mean, she's always a revelation in everything she does. Elijah Wood, the actress who I'm so sorry I can't remember her name, who plays the wife.
Christine Woods.
Yes. My husband and I talk about that performance. That is an astonishing hit it out of the fucking park performance.
I agree. She's so
incredible.
Great. She's
Incredible.
So great. And we still have this like text thread with that cast. I was just texting with Christine yesterday.
Were you really?
Yeah, she's going to come to the show.
Hi, Christine.
Tonight, and
you're doing the premiere of at Vidiots night. Idiots
and
at Vidiots.
Yeah, and they're all, the ones that are in town are coming. Longstreet, who played the evil husband.
Yes. Incredible.
Elijah. And I wrote that part for Melanie. I wrote the part for Elijah, and it was just sort of like not necessarily like expecting that I would be able to get them, but that's who was in my head when I was doing the typing. And so I sort of tugged on that string while we were trying to get the financing, and Netflix was the one that was like, hell yeah, get them. They're awesome. And we did. And then that was another one, honestly, that came together. We had a full year of like, no, thank you, no thank you. Yes, you can do it, but only if you get like, like the most famous people in the world, and they were like, no, we're busy, and so we were very like, we don't really have anywhere else to go. And then at that time, Netflix was like, yeah, cast who you want, make it the way you want. They left us alone, never came to set. I mean, very supportive, but just like, go make the thing that you want to make, which was such a, I don't know if I appreciated at the time how goddamn unusual that was.
Yes, that movie is so special. And Blue Ruin also, your collaborations with your partner, Jeremy Saulnier. Like, we'll get into that in a moment, but so many of the films that you guys have made, you knew exactly what that movie needed to be.
Yeah. And
by being left alone, look at what happened. Did they fight you on the title at all?
It wasn't a fight, but what was great was like, I was like, I admitted it's 19 goddamn words long. Like, I know. But the thing is like, once something gets stuck in my head, and what had happened was when this is a little bit of a detour. We were shooting Green Room.
Green Room.
The producers on Green Room, Anish and Neil, took me out to lunch one day, and they were like, when are you going to write something for you to direct? And I was writing something, but I was kind of like, I don't know if they're going to, but they were so encouraging. And so I was like, okay, yeah, this is the thing I'm going to bring to him. And at that same time, Jeremy gave me a record for my birthday, and it was called I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. It was a bunch of old gospel stuff. And it just got stuck in my head.
Yes.
And so the whole movie I was writing, and so I was willing to play ball on the title. We had a huge Google Doc of 40 different titles.
Yep.
And most of them were not great. Some could have worked, but none of them fit in my brain the way. Completely. And honestly, to their credit, all the producers and everybody that was like, we need a shorter title, I was like, okay, cool, let's talk about it, whatever you want. and we went through all the names, and ultimately they were like, nah, you know what? It should be the first one.
I love it.
And sort of like gave it back to me in that way. Not that it was an arm wrestling match. They were like, yeah, it should be that.
In rewatching this to prep for sitting with you, you were ahead of something there. What a time we're living through. And
Tell me about it.
We'll go back to that in a moment.
It's a whole other podcast.
Oh, God, exactly. and if I could, can I take us back to Blue Ruin? Can I take us actually back to the beginning?
Anywhere you like.
Virginia.
Yes.
You grow up with Jeremy Saulnier.
Jeremy, and also a group of about 8 or 9 other
Lab
folks.
of Madness?
Yeah, that's what we called ourselves at one point. We made a couple of short films under that banner, and they were much more horror-y.
Was that Murder Party?
Whatever. That was kind of the last one that we talked about for that one being, and then it kind of moved on to other stuff. Everybody in Murder Party, that was, with the exception of 2 other actors that we cast, that was all high school buds.
Yeah, so you did that in high school.
Murder Party? No. We did that.
Sorry, Lab of Madness got together when you guys were in high school in Virginia.
Yeah, towards the end of high school. We had like 3 different production companies, as much as you have a company when you're in high school. But it was the same group of kids that we all lived in the same neighborhood, and we had a video camera and just spent a lot of free time making movies, which at the time, you know, there was no cameras, there was no laptops with editing software, so it was like a real sort of scramble. Like we would edit on 2 VCRs, like play, pause, like that, tape to tape, and you know, drive around in cars with like trash bags full of costumes and stuff like that.
Yeah, you figure it out. I mean, talk about scrappy and on the run, but that then leads you to making this really, I'm like real pretentious on this episode, I guess, but the masterpiece that is Blue Ruin.
That's Jeremy. That's all Jeremy.
Written, directed, and photographed by Jeremy Saulnier. Yes.
Yeah.
Your performance in that movie is astonishing. I just remember being so blown away. And you guys also made it for absolutely nothing. Yeah.
It was like what, you know, we had done Murder Party, and that did very well on festivals and stuff. And we were hoping that would sort of open up the door for a career in show business.
Yes.
And we got some meetings, and there was a little bit of traction on some things, but nothing ever materialized, and everybody needed to pay the bills and went back to day jobs. And Jeremy, who is very strategic in his thinking, was like, if we come back after 5 years and we do another wacky, bloody comedy, then it's just going to be deflated. And so he was like, I'm going to pivot very hard into something that has real dramatic stakes and everything, which at the time, because all of our movies were goofy and wacky and silly and zombies farting and stuff like that, and we were like, oh shit, people are going to be crying? Like, okay. But he's so self-assured that he was like, no, trust me, this is what we're going to do. It is going to be a revenge movie. However, he will not be good at it. He's not going to be beating anybody up, anything like that.
Yep.
And you're going to like in every scene you are going to fail.
It is incredible on all levels. To give you and Jeremy really the props that you both deserve. The performance from you on what is just on your face, because there is
not a lot of dialogue,
to say the least. I mean, at maybe 10, 12 minutes in, I was like, has he spoken yet? And
not
like
really.
you said, like one, right? But it is, so much is conveyed. There's a beautiful scene in the diner with your sister when the man at the next table asks for some ketchup. It's a super heavy emotional scene between you guys. And he is asking before he even looks over and realizes, you know, she's crying, and this is like the tension in the air is so thick you could cut it with a knife. And then she gives it to him, and then he says, sorry. It is so human. Mm-hmm. It is such, like, to me, that's a really important moment in that movie.
It is, because Jeremy, this is another thing that I love. His thinking is that, like, the rest of the world doesn't know that they're in a genre movie about revenge.
Yes.
The rest of the world has hamburgers to eat.
Yes.
And so just because we're having a big moment, like, nobody else cares about that. And
it grounds it so beautifully.
It does. And also, it's a very well-timed laugh. Like
yes.
People have been kind of like, if they're into it, then they've been sort of like feeling this, like, they're talking about how their parents were murdered and you're a bad brother and fuck you and all that. And it's like, it's a bummer.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden this guy's just trying to finish his meal.
You have any ketchup over there? He doesn't have any ketchup on his table, as happens a lot.
Now, you're such a detective. Did you recognize that gentleman?
I did not.
Tell
me.
The desk clerk at the hotel in Idiots.
Oh, God damn it. Is he a good friend of yours and you put him in everything?
He's a buddy from Atlanta. His name is Daniel Kelly, and Alex brought him up for that one line. And then I loved him so much from that line that when we went back to Atlanta, I was like, Daniel, finally we can do a movie together.
Daniel Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
When I saw Blue Ruin, I really couldn't get over it. Was so blown away. Who is this filmmaker? Who is this incredible actor? You and Jeremy then, did you start your company, Bonneville Pictures, and did you name it after the Bonneville in Blue Ruin?
Yes.
Thank you. You guys then start your company off of that and then work together on really every movie that you both make, right?
Yeah, I mean, I am along in a support position with Jeremy. He is always with these really capable producers that are usually Anisha Neal and Vincent from Film Science.
Oh, great.
They also do Kelly Reichardt's movies.
Yeah.
And so they have a lot of facility with, like, I guess you'd say lower budget stuff, but like calculated lower budget stuff.
What you guys made Blue Ruin for and what was achieved at that budget. And if they do Kelly's movies, they must work up in Portland a lot. I made a movie in Portland a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then my husband made one last summer too. Very similar crew. I love shooting up there, but it is
too.
Have you made a movie up in Portland?
Well, Don't Feel at Home was in Portland, and then we because
what?
Yeah, we did Green Room there, and so because that sort of the first movie, Don't Feel at Home, kind of generated in the midst of making Green Room. When Netflix was like, go make it, we instantly wanted to come back to Portland.
Yeah.
Just to sort of take advantage of all of the resources, the amazing crew base, and then also just the landscape. It looks so cool. And
it's truly my favorite place. I won't shut up about it.
Yeah.
I just evangelize to everybody. I want to touch upon you as an actor also, because Blue Ruin, incredible, as discussed. You're an Oppenheimer.
What I want to do is just be in movies, in whatever form. If that's writing the movie that gets made,
yeah,
awesome. If it's directing a movie that I get to control, even better. If it's getting to have a tiny part with one line, if it means having a big part where there's a cool scene in a diner,
yeah,
any of those and anything else.
So great.
I was a PA for many years. I just want to be on set somehow.
Yeah. I love seeing you show up in things that, Oppenheimer, for fuck's sake. That's pretty cool.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Like, it's like, I feel like I should be like, yeah, but I am constantly like, can you fucking... It's really special. I feel very, very lucky.
It's so
fantastic.
Very lucky. So fantastic.
In all honesty, like, a lot of getting ready for Blue Ruin, prior to that, a lot of what we were doing and what Jeremy kept putting me in his stuff, and it was usually comedic, and I felt very comfortable with that kind of thing. And I had taken classes in New York and done some stuff like that, but really it was Jeremy going through this little rehearsal / we shot some sort of test footage, and some of it had some performance stuff in it, and it was Jeremy really sort of like recalibrating like the normal performance tricks that you would rely on in Murder Party or in Crab Walk, one of my short films. Your normal stuff, that shit is not going to fly here. Like, it needs to be this other thing, and he really helped me sort of calibrate what that would be. Yes. And so, hanging around the boardwalk, digging in the dumpster, whatever, like, don't worry about that. That's fine. Like, I can do all the physical acting. Yeah. Sitting across the table from Amy Hargreaves and doing a 5-page fucking crying monologue or whatever, that was terrifying. And that's what he really worked with me on. Yeah. And she came in early and really helped with that too. But like,
she's astonishing in that movie.
She's
too.
So fantastic.
Everyone in that movie is so good.
Fantastic.
But that relationship between your character Dwight and your sister, she's not in it for an extended period of time, but so much of the then propulsion of the narrative is about protecting her and what your character's motivation is to be on the rest of this revenge journey. And it is, you have to nail that relationship. It's just so beautifully done.
Thank you.
Love these characters.
I love hearing that. I want to make sure that a big heap of credit is steered towards Jeremy and Amy.
And that's the best kind of collaborations. And Jeremy's gone on to have such an incredible career and continues to, and is such a fantastic filmmaker.
Not to brag,
Please
but
do.
I'm going to see a cut of his new movie tomorrow night,
Ooh.
Which I think is the first time it's been shown for. It's not done. It's like
Sure.
a work in progress, but.
You doing a friends and family screening basically, or is it just you and a few people?
I think it's. I don't know entirely. I think it's pretty small. But I've read the script, and I just think it's going to be great.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, we should say Rebel Ridge, like, get out of here.
Yeah.
That movie blew the doors off. Green Room is so good.
Yeah.
Hold the Dark. So do you want to touch upon at all what you're working on next?
I have a couple of scripts that I am sort of like trying to see if we can't like get some traction.
It's such a good time in Hollywood right now too, right?
The stuff's flying off the shelves.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is so much of what we talk about on this. It's what is the real of where Hollywood is right now?
I have no idea. I just and but what I've given myself over to is like it's got nothing to do with me, and I certainly can't control it. So I'm just gonna keep writing stuff.
Which was always the case, right?
Yes.
It's just gotten, I think, whether it's progressively harder or also when you talk about Blue Ruin, when you talk about Don't Feel at Home, it's a lot of rejection until it's now go.
Exactly.
What wild times we are living through in Hollywood right now.
It's really tough, no doubt. I mean, I know
For sure.
people that are and I know you do too, who are struggling, and it's I don't know what the prescription is, and so like out of not panic, but just like I don't know what else to do, so I'm just going to like keep typing
Completely.
and sending stuff out.
Control what you can control. It's self-preservation.
And that's kind of it. I feel very lucky. I've got a supporting part on the Lowdown.
Yes, you
we
do.
just did season 2 of that. Hopefully there'll be a season 3. So just having something like that to look forward to, and a show like that. Speaking of like
So special.
it's this. We had this the last day of filming recently, and it was sort of like this scene in the diner where all the characters come together and have a meal together, basically. And so it's like the whole cast: Keith David and Ethan, Rachel Crowell, all these folks, and the whole scene was them. There was not really any dialogue. It was just folks singing songs, and it was the most. I had to like step outside, and I don't smoke. I had to step outside and smoke a cigarette. I used to smoke a lot. I had to step outside and smoke a cigarette because it was. I just felt like it was the most beautiful moment, and I just had to be like, I'm so fucking grateful for this because it is so rare, not just now, but anytime.
Totally.
Even when times are good, something like that about like I get to be here in this room with these people, and Sterling Harjo is calling cut. And I couldn't possibly contain how fucking grateful I felt. I don't know how to articulate it any better.
I love
than
it because I do also think it's tough to be in the present. I always go like this to my husband. It's like a little thing from a Cameron Crowe movie.
I know exactly what you mean. That's because it's not just in the business, although certainly that, but much larger than that. Like there's so much that feels so scary and so out of our control and so sinister and vile that like we're constantly like, how do we contend with these forces? And so just every now and again, if once every 6 months there's a 30-minute slice of a bunch of people that you love singing a song with a camera pointed at you, I was like, oh fuck, man, I'll take it.
Exactly. That's just wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it. Macon, thank you for indulging all of my questions and my
talking
fandom.
No, I love it.